Okay, hi. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer on October 8th, 2022, which was, what's the date? It is now January 21st, 2023. So it has been over 3 months now, and I am still not in any sort of treatment. So this is an update explaining, I did my other video so long ago that I think that I went through the particulars of what happened in mammograms and ultrasounds and diagnosis and all that. Since then, my insurance, which is awful, as a lot of insurance is, tried to send me to an intestinal surgeon for breast cancer, which I refused. And so that was a struggle for weeks, trying to get them to approve an actual breast surgeon specialist. I was finally able to get my insurance to approve a consult with a surgical oncologist who is supposed to be very good. So it took 5 weeks for that consult because it was right around Thanksgiving, I guess, and all of this just takes forever. I have no idea why. So I went in and I had the consult for my doctor, or the doctor that I was consulting with. This was all very straightforward, and according to my initial tests and pathology, it appeared that I was stage 1, that the tumor was 1.3 centimeters, and from ultrasound, they think that my lymph nodes so far look clear, but obviously they can't tell that until they do surgery and they dissect them and do pathology on them. So for him, this was all very straightforward from the beginning, and it was kind of like, okay, yeah, lumpectomy and radiation, and you'll be all set, blah, blah, blah. I had to bring up another problem that I've been having that started maybe like 9 months ago or so, where I started having tailbone pain just for no reason, out of the blue, and that progressively got worse to the point that I'm actually sitting on a special cushion right now. It's because my ass hurts. So before I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I had looked this up, and it could be a number of things. And one of the things was if you have sudden pain in your bones in that area specifically too, it couldn't be a sign of cancer. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, it's not. But then when I was diagnosed with breast cancer a few months ago, I went, oh shit, what if the cancer has metastasized to my bones? Breast cancer can metastasize, which means it goes out of the breast and it moves around in the body, and it metastasizes to your bones, your liver, your brain, your lungs. Those are the big places that it can go, and that they usually look for. So that was a concern. I don't know how serious my doctor was taking me, but I had to have MRIs done of my breasts anyway. Because it's just protocol. I also have very dense breast tissue, which means that my breasts are very difficult to see on scans, mammograms, ultrasounds. It's very hard to get a clear picture of what's going on, and it's very hard to see tumors small tumors and cancer in dense breasts. So he was already sending me for an MRI of my breasts. And so I brought up several times my concern regarding my tailbone. I just want to be sure. He also ordered a DNA test to check to see if I have genetic markers for breast cancer or other forms of cancer. And I think I discussed that I am estrogen receptor and progesterone receptor positive, which means that the cancer is developing and being fed by the hormones in my body. Revolving around that, there's always a concern when doing DNA testing that you're at risk for ovarian cancer and cervical cancer and other female cancers. They send in your biopsies from your original pathology. They send in the tissue sample again to check your Oncotype score. That is to check how aggressive your cancer is and whether you need chemotherapy. I was told that these tests would take about 2 weeks to come back, get the results, and then schedule me for surgery, and off we went. Now, I was concerned because I thought, well, shouldn't I see a medical oncologist, have more testing done? Because here is a huge issue for me. In other countries where there is socialized healthcare or better healthcare in general, it is the first thing they do when staging your cancer. They do a bone scan. They can do either a PET scan or a CT scan to check your entire body to see if there is any cancer anywhere else. Because, well, don't you think that makes sense? To find out if this is where the cancer is only here or if it's spread somewhere else. And I have heard nightmare cases of women having, lumpectomies and having their cancer removed from their breast, and then they find out 6 months or years later that this whole time it had metastasized somewhere else and it was actually stage 4. In other countries, they do these tests automatically. Not here in America. You have to fight with your doctors and insist. And I was actually told by my surgical oncologist when I asked about having these tests done, he almost laughed at me and said, yeah, no, the insurance isn't going to cover that because you're only stage 1. So I either have to pay out of pocket or just sit here and wonder if my cancer has gone anywhere else. That blows my mind. I can't wrap my head around that. And then, so he ordered the tests, the MRIs for my breast, and he did end up ordering an MRI of my pelvis, which I was really grateful for. And I waited not 2 weeks, 6 weeks later. And it was, I figured, okay, well, it's Christmas or holiday season and it's, New Year's and all that. So maybe that's what's taking forever. And then I find out that they had these test results in their office for weeks. And I emailed them a couple times saying, hey, what is going on? Don't you think that we should move this along? And I finally got a response and another appointment set up and everything. So yeah, it had been 3 months since my diagnosis before I even got the test results back from these very basic tests, which, by the way, my insurance denied coverage for my DNA test and my Oncotype test, which again are very basic tests that are done for everyone that is diagnosed with breast cancer. And my insurance denied them. So again, blown away by this entire process. See, I thought that the hardest thing about having breast cancer was the fear of losing my breasts and losing my hair and, being put on medications that would affect my quality of life. And the biggest stress in the last 3 months, or now 3.5 months, has been, oh my God, am I going to get good doctors, or am I going to get doctors that butcher me? Because my insurance keeps refusing to send me to good doctors or cover necessary testing, or now I'm scared to death that they're going to deny coverage for the surgery that I want. So the whole thing is just, that is the biggest stress of it. The doctors, and feel like I'm being brushed off by doctors' offices and doctors, and this feeling of when you're asking questions, they have kind of this air about them of, like, well, I'm the doctor and I'm the one that knows. So, well, I'm not sitting here for 3 months looking things up on Wikipedia. I'm reading medical journals and clinical trials and serious information and research regarding every single aspect about the different surgeries, mastectomies, lumpectomies, the side effects of each, radiation, different radiation types, the side effects of radiation, basically everything. So for me, it's kind of insulting to not be treated like, I'm a partner here, it's my body, I'm going to advocate for my body. Let's not forget that I was told when I asked for a mammogram that I was too young and that I should wait several years. And I had to insist on that. Yeah, this has been fun.